it live. So I'm gonna wait about maybe 2 minutes until people start coming in. See anybody else? The song is about 2 minutes, so we'll go ahead and go from there. What's so special about tonight? I'm not really doing it. I'm gonna thought. Unless somebody has something to ask me. Okay, we got Just Ask Shar. We got the Grinch up in the building. Okay. That's cool. This is hard. I have to start doing early morning chats. Okay, so we can't wait for everybody. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start the show.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. We got low cash right there. So I'm going to be giving shout outs for a few minutes to acknowledge people.
Okay.
That's Shar. And we got French God, and we got low cast up in here. So welcome to Art New Style TV. Is it Camille? Camille?
What's up?
How do you know?
Camila.
Camila?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So anyhow, you nervous?
Kind of.
Okay. Well, I guess people be captivated with the accent, so that's cool. Now, let people know, how old are you?
I'm 16 years old. No, 17. I just turned 17.
And you're still in high school, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I have to let people know up front. Okay. We got crew in the building. Welcome, crew. Okay. Yeah, so the Grinch God says, hey, Camila.
Hey.
Okay, so um, we're going to ask you about your upbringings. Okay, so can you describe your upbringing as far as the makeup of your family? Is it traditional? Is it, how would you describe it?
My family is kind of traditional. I'm a lonely child, and my parents follow different religious beliefs. Like my mom is Christian, and my dad follows a Afro-Brazilian religion. You know what I mean?
Okay. Now, so when you say Afro-Brazilian
Yeah.
religion, is he getting into, does he go into the capoeira and the things from Angola, like that kind of lineage?
Yeah, no, not capoeira, because capoeira is more like a dance or a style of fight, but a religion like candomblé, umbanda.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. I might, wow, he doesn't speak English, huh?
No, my dad doesn't speak English at
If
all.
he spoke English, I would definitely get him on the show. Okay, so is there, when it comes to your mother and your father having two different religious beliefs, are there any conflicts within the family?
No, not at all. Like they they like we can all live in the same place and we don't fight about it. My dad has his things, like a cup of water and the candle lighting for his angel, and my mom has her things like from the church,
Okay.
for example, in special dates, and that's it.
I'm sorry. I think were you? I think your Maybe it was my connection. Could you repeat what you just said again? Because I think my connection was kind of messed up.
Oh, it's like we live in peace. My dad has like his things for his angels, like a cup of water and a candle. And my mom has her things from church and from special dates, like, and we all live in peace. That's it.
Okay. And that's, would you say that's like a lot of families in Brazil that have different religious beliefs, but in the same family?
No, I don't think so. Mostly of the families, like, they all follow the same religion, or like, because people can like really fight about it here in Brazil, especially Christians and Afro Brazilian and people who follows Afro Brazilian religions. There's a
Okay.
lot of
Now
discussion
just
around here about this subject.
okay. Now just to confirm for people who are watching, you are a black person, right? With a black family?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Mhm.
What about the, I guess, the status? Would you consider yourself, your family, rich, middle class, poor? What category you see yourselves under?
I think I would consider my family poor,
Poor? Okay.
like something between middle class and poor.
Okay. Wow. So that's another discussion. Jeez. Um, Now, do you go to public school or private school?
Public school, federal school actually. Because like I don't know
Okay.
if y'all know
The
it
people in the
know
chat,
this,
is she
but
Borgian or
here,
is it just Mike? But go ahead. Could you repeat that again? Because you got cut off with the connection.
repeat what part? Which part?
Hello?
Repeat
Are you
which
there?
part? Yes, I am. Hey,
Sister Kabila?
hello,
Uh-oh.
hello, hey,
Okay. I can I,
hello.
I can hear you now.
Can you?
Okay, so what were you saying?
Okay. I go to a public school, actually a federal school, because in I don't know if in other countries are also like that, but here in Brazil they divide the public schools. Like some of them, just the city government takes care of it.
Okay.
In others, the federal government.
Okay. Oh, they're
So
saying they can
I
hear
go to a
you.
federal school.
So how
Sorry.
does it work? You said so you're saying that there's a local and a local government and the federal government that takes care of the public schools?
Could you repeat that, please?
And that local government and the federal government they take care of the public schools.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yo, yeah. Now I can.
Okay. Now, yeah, so you were saying that the local government and the federal government they take care of the public schools?
Yeah, like they divide the schools. Some of them just the local government takes care, like they invest money and everything, and the others, the federal government takes care of it, and then other ones the state government takes care of it. For example, like if I was talking about United States, some
Uh-huh.
schools like the Los Angeles government would take care of, and other ones the Californian governments would take care of it, and other ones like the United States government would take care. You know?
Okay, so they pretty much take different they get different territories.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a particular reason?
What? Why they do that?
Is there, yeah, why they divide it up like that? Is there like, is it military? Is it musically gifted people?
No, there's no particular reason. Just the federal school. Usually, you have to pass through a test to get in. You know.
Okay.
So if you pass this test, you can go to the federal one. But the others one, you just sign up.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. So that's probably another category in itself as well. Okay. So getting to the other questions here. Um, now, now, do you as far as in Brazil, do you have like a Black History Month or a Black History Week there?
We have a Black Conscious Day,
Or Black
which,
Conscious Day?
yeah, it's a day in November. I think it's November 20th, if I'm not wrong, which is a day that a black leader, like a slave, he used to run a place, like a safe place for slaves who are running away from it. And that's the day of his death. So the known day of his death. So today is the Black Conscious Day. And it's actually a holiday. Like we don't have classes, people don't go to work.
Hmm. So wait a minute. So what, let me get this straight. So they used a Black Conscious Day, and everybody doesn't go to work for for the whole country,
No,
or just
yeah, it's I think it's the whole country. It's like not that everybody don't go to work. It's like a holiday, for example, like Christmas that people don't work and everything. You know what I mean?
hmm. Okay. So what takes place for a Black Conscious Day? Is there like festivals? How
It
does that work?
Usually they talk more about Black history at schools, like in the week, because of course in the specific day we don't have classes, but they talk about it during the week in school and everywhere. So it's nice.
Wow. Um, Now, do you have like a Black history? Do you learn about Black history in school?
Yeah, kind of like
Like, do you have Black history
nowadays, like
courses?
now that I'm in high school, in the no, and like in my school nowadays I learn like ways more, because in the past, like in the elementary school, we just learn about slavery and that's it. We don't know that much about Black history in this country, but I think it's nowadays it's changing a lot. People are talking more about it. We're discovering more things.
Hmm. Now, when you go in, when they go into slavery, do they only talk about slavery from Brazil, or do they talk about slavery in other parts of the world?
They talk more about slavery in Brazil. I just learned about slavery in other countries, like in the end of elementary school, but it was just like a tiny little bit. And even slavery in Brazil, they don't talk, like they don't tell us what it really was. You just like really learn about it in high school if you do. It's like they talk like it was something. Oh, they took black people from their home, took they bring this to this country, and that's it. They don't talk like how bad it was. We don't
Hmm.
realize how bad it was.
Wow. Um, that's deep. I want to, man. There's so many different topics. I definitely want to, because I know if I get stay on this, we're gonna be all day. So I want to I want to just stick to my questions so we can give you more of a voice. So
Okay.
what you're starting off right now, I have a series what's going to be called Let the Young Speak.
Mhm.
And so like I'm going to get all kinds of young people. I'm gonna start off with these type of questions, and then
Mhm.
later on I'm just going to give you the floor, give me your vision of what the future looks like and things that you see and things that you would need help with, so that
Nice.
we can move you in the right direction. And where you come in, people get to see what's going on in another part of the world of with Black people, and maybe they can
Mhm.
communicate or even help them, or you can help, or they can help you, make that connection. We'll
Mhm.
get more into it though. So what about, do you know about some of the Black history figures in the United States? And if so, which ones could you talk about?
Actually, I don't know that much about Black history in the U.S. Just know about two people that really marked me that I studied was Martin Luther King, of course, and I think her name is Rose Parks, the woman that she didn't get up on the bus when there was like the segregation laws,
Hmm.
and she was arrested and everything. I studied about her last year at school.
Wow, this is 2019.
Yeah.
So so they haven't really broke down like Malcolm X or Marcus Garvey or
Nope.
any of those people?
I heard Malcolm. I heard this name before, Malcolm X, but I don't really know his history.
Wow. Now, when you're dealing with Black history, because every most stuff here is in Portuguese, correct? In
Yes.
Brazil. Now, do you get? I mean, do you have any access to Black history in Portuguese? Like lots of it?
I think when in terms of Black history, we really know we learn a lot about people who were like against slavery, like resistant figures against slavery, and people who like, you know what I mean.
Right.
It's all like connected to slavery that we learn at least at school.
Like
Like,
Zumbi, right?
yeah,
Okay.
like Zombie, his wife.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very fascinating story too. I don't know if you want to come back and talk about that, about how did the slaves free themselves,
Hmm.
through the dance and the martial arts. So that was a lot of people in the United States still don't know about that, believe it or not. Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's kind. I mean, I hope people are really listening to this because that's kind of important because in the United States there's a lot of access to Black history since the 1930s or
Wow.
1920s, probably going back there with J.A. Rogers and a few other people.
Wow.
Um, that's really breaking down the first, like, okay, he talks about Brazil in his book. And I
Oh.
think later on there was discovery of Luzia, Luzia,
Yes.
from São Paulo.
Yes.
So do you guys even talk about Luzia there?
No, not that much. I think like we hear her name here and there at school, and that's it. Like we're starting to have access to Black history in Brazil, like nowadays. Like how can I say, like from like 3 years from now, 3 years back
Wow.
from now, like since 2016, 14, people are talking about Black history and like Black empowerment
Hmm.
and everything. It's something new.
Wow. Now, I know I'm kind of late on this, but I heard that when the movie Black Panther came out,
Hmm.
I believe Black Brazilians lost their mind and went crazy. Could you describe
Yeah.
that? What, what was going on?
It was like a boom, this movie, because like a movie with mostly Black people, like we felt represented. Because I don't know if you know this, but in Brazil, biggest part of the population, like according to the government, is Black. So like we felt represented, you know,
Okay. Wow.
and like everyone was talking about it. They even had a lecture to talk about it in my school, like to discuss the movie and what did it bring to us, to our life, and how it's important to the movie industry.
Wow. That's Yeah, because I saw how they were really like going to Black businesses only for a while in groups. I was like, really? Because I saw the articles, because every time I go out there, I'm always learning new things, about Black culture there.
Hmm.
Uh, Now, um, let's see. Okay, my other question is, what are some of the main problems when it comes to racism in your country? What are the things that stick out to you?
I think because racism here is like, it's something that people usually say it's not racism because it's something like hidden. You know, it's not like the way I studied at school, like the racism in U.S. is like people saying I hate you because you're Black. In Brazil, it's not I hate you because you're Black. I won't hire. It's like I won't hire you because you're Black. I I'm gonna arrest like the police. I'm gonna arrest you because you're black. You know, I don't like your hair. You have to straighten your hair to be in my company. You know, because I don't like your hair. It's something more like that. It's something that people don't say it. They think some people say it and get to like violent ways, but it's not like I studied it in the at school that like a lot of black people were killed in the US. But here it's not like that. They are like separated. They that like nowadays we're changing it. We're fighting more against it. Everyone's talking about it. But it used to be like separated. They used to like black people, okay, you can live here, but you can't be rich, you can't like run a company, you can't be a CEO, you know.
Hmm. And this and the stuff that you're just describing, that's you're saying that's still going on in the 2000s.
I mean, sometimes it happens. It's something that we fight against. Like here and there appears a type of like how can I say it? Situation of racism that like people got violent. Like since the new president came in, like it like it went bigger, like like way more of types of racism that people like got violent, started to appear, but it still happened. Like uh, nowadays it has been like since this wave of black empowerment, I think it kind of slowed down. Like it, how can I say it? But it just still happened. No, not
Okay.
that it's not that hard. That's what we're trying to say. It's not that hard, but it still happened.
Wow. So according to, because I guess we skipped all the way to the president. Okay. So according to since you have the new president that just got elected, what this past year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he
Uh,
actually he assumed this beginning of this year, January.
okay,
He,
so he came in. Now he's supposed to be like a good friend of Donald Trump.
yes,
Okay, so would you say that he's trying to implement the same things that Donald Trump is doing in the United States?
maybe like I feel like he agrees with what he says, and it's like some people say, "Oh, he's not racist." Okay, but some of his acts like give racist people what they need to like the how can I say, he pushes racist people to do what they want to do. Like he's trying to implement like guns for everyone, something like that. You know, let's say that people like his people who voted from him for him, some people say, oh, but he's not that way. Okay, but what did he do like gives what that type of people need to do what they want to do, like this bad people, racist people.
Hmm. Wow. Now, um, now let's see. You went over the hair because that was one thing that I wanted to touch on.
Hmm.
Now, I got a real good question. I think this is what's going on all over the country, or excuse me, all over the world.
Hmm.
But out there in Brazil, do 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 you often have people there try to get away from being black in Brazil?
Sorry, can
Do
you
you
repeat that?
do
Because
you, you
it was
uh,
cut off.
I'm sorry. Do you often have people out there try to get away from being black in Brazil? Like they say, I'm not black, I'm this, I'm not black, I'm that, even
Yeah,
though it's clear that they are.
like it used to happen a lot, like a lot a few years ago. But as I was saying, nowadays with this black empowerment, like people are feeling like, no, okay, I'm like, they are like accepting the fact that they are black and that's okay. You can be black because in Brazil is a very mixed country. So like some people like their skin is not dark, so they think they're not black, but they have all the characteristics of a black person. So like even if they're mixed, like for example, uh, you have a black dad and a white mom, and you come like in the your skin tone is like a middle of them, it's like in the middle of them, and you have a curly hair, like a really curly hair, and this girl could say like a few years ago she would say she's not black, but nowadays she can accept that she's black, and that's okay, you know.
Wow. Yeah, because when I go out there, for one, when I see the certain people that are, um, I guess, they call themselves white out there, or
Mm-hmm.
the brancos, right? It's still
Mm-hmm.
branco, right? They say
Mm-hmm.
that, but if they go to United States, they will still be considered like a mestizo or mezzo Mexican or something like that. They don't really.
Latinos.
Right. They're the white over there in Brazil. I mean, there are some Nordic, very European looking German white people in Brazil that I see,
Mm-hmm.
but there are some of them that don't look, I mean, they don't really look white, but they swear to God that they are white. And
Yeah.
that makes me scratch my head a little bit. That's why I was asking you. So you're saying that the phenotypes kind of determine there's always some kind of proof somewhere, whether it's the nose, the lips, the
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah, I think it's more like we're empowering people to like to assume what they think that what they feel they are, you know. For example, this type of a mixed girl, she can say she's black, okay, and that's fine, even if her skin is not dark and anything like that. But it happens a lot, like people that are, let's say, not that white, they like say, no, I'm white and everything.
Hmm. Yeah, that's something because I think that's the thing that the problems that we have in the United States is that you have people that do come to the United States that's from other countries that look like you and me or maybe a slight bit lighter,
Mhm.
but you say, "Hey, brother," they're like, "I'm not your brother. Aren't you black?" They know I'm not black, and they have the accent, and I'm
Hmm.
just wondering, like, I mean, is it that bad in Brazil? So I think, but you just explain it, unless you want to add more.
Yes. No, I think that's it.
Okay,
It, as I'm saying, it used to be really bad, but we're fixing it.
okay, wow. Now so we talked about the straight. I want to go more into the straightening of the hair. As far as getting a job. Okay. Now,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of jobs are we talking about when what why would they encourage people to straighten their hair? What kind of jobs are these? These secretary jobs or these?
Yeah, this type of jobs that you get in touch with people a lot, that you attend people like a salesperson and all that. Like nowadays, it's not that bad because a lot of girls, especially, are doing like a hair transition that they're like stop doing chemicals in their hairs and do letting it grow the way it's supposed to be, like naturally. You know, they're
Mhm.
changing it.
Hmm.
Like they cut their hairs like really short, really really short, and just let it grow naturally.
Okay.
Because of that, because in the past we used to have this culture of like a straightened hair, like all girls, the beautiful is a straightened hair or just a little bit curly, not that much, you know.
Now, when I walk around Brazil too, I'm starting to see certain women with. Have you heard of like hair extensions or weaves or wigs?
Yes.
I'm seeing that in Brazil too. Is that new or is
It's
that
new.
something?
I think it's because of this wave of hair transitions too. Like some girls, like because the hair is like when they're passing through this transition, their hairs look like two different types. Like in the close to their heads is like it's curly or something like that, and like in the end it's straightened or something. So they feel like it's weird, so they start using wigs or hair extensions. So to like to cover it up while they're trying to change it, you know.
So it's temporary. It's not like a
Yeah,
style.
yeah, it's temporary.
Yeah, because like when I drive around, and at least in my neighborhood, usually there's always things like Brazilian hair for sale. So I'm like, okay, well, why are they wearing fake hair in Brazil? So I was seeing what you had to add to that.
Yeah, even the like I don't know if you have seen some women using braids, like braids. Is that
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah, braids, uh-huh.
Braids, like a lot of braids, and because of this black empowerment too, like more
Oh,
people
okay.
are trying to use braids, because they don't feel ashamed of it. Because in the past, it used to be bad if you use like braids or dreads. People used to think that it's dirty, that you don't take care of your hair.
And what about dreadlocks? I'm seeing more people. I've been told that people that wear dreadlocks in Brazil, they're called hippies.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, how is that? I never heard of that. I thought because where I'm from, hippies are white people with bandanas and holding two fingers up,
No,
right?
because as I was telling you, like they think that I don't nowadays it's still happening, but it's not that hard. They used to think that like dreadlocks means like that you're dirty, that you don't take care of your hair, of yourself. So people like don't see slash didn't used to see dreadlocks that well, as a good thing.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, because I'm meeting a lot of people, especially in the university. I'm seeing a lot of black people that work at universities wearing dreadlocks. So I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Uh, over in Brazil. Um, now, um, let's see. What I have now, what stereotypes would you like to address when it comes to how people see your country?
Mm. I think
Like, what have you
that
heard?
a big one is the sex tourism,
Okay.
like the women, like they talk a lot, they stereotype women a lot, like Brazilian women.
Hmm.
And another one that I hear a lot is like think that the entire Brazil is Rio, like that Rio represents the entire country, which is not true. Like Brazil is a huge country with like many different cultures inside the same country. So,
Hmm.
and the third one, I think it's like think that the entire country is samba and capoeira and everything like that, which is not true.
Just like karate and anybody from Asia, or Asiatica, they think that
Yeah,
everybody in like China knows karate.
yeah, yeah, karate and kung fu. That
Okay.
everyone is.
Did you want to talk on those things, or did you just want to just talk about the stereotypes that you heard? Like, you
No,
want to address them or correct, make any corrections or your
like
opinions?
like first of all, like the women, I think that I get like really surprised when I see that there's still people that think about that, like in the 21st century, like think about that, see women like that, like see Brazil as a country of easy women and all that. Like we're not like that. We're just like I think people think that because we're very nowadays we're a very free country when it comes to love. Like sometimes you just kiss someone and that's it. And I've heard that in a few countries that if you hold hands with someone or if you kiss, you're dating and that's it. We're not like that. I think that's why people think that about women, but it's not right. The thing about the culture that thinks that people think that Rio describes the entire country is not true. Like in the south of Brazil, there's like they had a lot of Germans over there. Like while the Portuguese were in the rest of the country, like they made Brazil as a colon. Is that right?
Hmm.
So the Germans went to the south. So it's like it's a kind of a little part of Europe and Brazil. So it's very different from Rio, which is very different from the the north of the country, northwest, like the part around the Amazon forest. There's a
Mhm.
lot of natives over there, so you see, oh, like a huge difference again.
Hmm. Yeah. So, and what's the other ones that you mentioned too about the I guess we pretty much. I just want to know if you want to
Yeah.
expound on the things that you listed out.
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So amongst your age group, 'cause, you already talked about the sex tours and all that. Amongst your age group, how was the crime,
So
or how was crime? Crime, teenage pregnancy, educational problems, and things like that. Um, is there any kind of issues about those things, or has things got better, worse?
um, I had a lot of educational problems because I've studied in public schools my whole life. In
Uh-huh.
the Brazil, the public educational system is not that good. And this year in the federal school, which is also getting not that good, but it's another topic. But
Hmm.
I've studied in a state school my whole life, and I've had some guys that studied with me that got arrested or got involved in crime, and
Wow.
like a considerate amount of girls that studied with me also got pregnant. And in terms of educational problems, I've had some, especially in 2013 and 2016, because there were 2 years that the government stopped paying the teachers, and they
Mhm.
didn't have the money to pay the people from that work that they used to work at school. So we was like the teachers started like stopped working. Some of them because they didn't have the money to go to work. Some of them because they were protesting. Is that right?
Yes.
They were protesting like, because I'm not getting my money, I won't work. But some
Hmm.
of them kept working because they thought about us. Because I was like in my last year in elementary school, I didn't know what was going to happen to me because I was doing some tests to get into federal schools, and like I need to finish my elementary school to go to high school, because those tests is like to do the high school in the different school, like in the federal. And like a biggest part of people that's in my class were doing those tests too, and we all needed the our certificate from elementary school, and we didn't know if we were going to receive it because we spent like 3 months without classes, and it got to a point that the students, they, how can I say, they took care of the school. They're like, okay, now we're going to run it, and we kicked everyone out. Like the director's not getting in anyone. The school is going to stop. We won't have classes until the government fix it. All they have to fix, or at least talk to us and tell us what's happening. So it took us like 3 months without classes. It was like the biggest part of the year, and the rest of it they had like the some of the teachers stopped working. So I was like, I used to go to school and come back early or get in school later. It was like I had a lot of trouble with that.
Wow. That's now, now. Not too many. I mean, are they teaching English or just different languages in your schools, or is it just a few schools?
No, they teach in the like this school that I did elementary school. They had a special program for different languages. They used to teach us English, which was the course I did, Spanish and French. But English is also a subject at school. Like every year we learn English, but it's like basic English. Animals, colors, and verb to be. Like basically the
Yeah,
entire
because I'm
year.
mhm. Yeah, because I'm curious because I was told that when you know multiple languages, it gives you more uh, freedom, gives you more choices on what you may want to do around your country, even do things away. Is that the same thing for you guys too in your area?
Like Can you explain it better, please?
Okay, so for example, if you learn English real well, they'll probably be able to put you in an area where you can communicate with English speakers and Portuguese speakers and make more money versus the people that only speak Portuguese. That's just an example.
In terms of getting a job?
Yes, getting a nice paying job.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen that and how it worked? Because I only hear about it, but I never seen it.
No, of course, we like our parents usually encourage us if they can, they pay for us to learn another language because it's important in like every part of the world you go, and people are actually saying that English is not like used to be something different if you had English in your curriculum, like despite your native language, but nowadays it's something common, like it's basic for you to have English in your curriculum.
Yeah, but a lot of older people don't know English. People like maybe in their 30s and 40s, you think?
Yeah, like biggest part of them don't know English, or at
Yeah.
least they tell they know and they just can, like you know.
Yeah, because they look at me huh? Then I have to work on my slow Portuguese, right?
Yeah.
But I try. Um, let's see. Now, I think the other question was like because I'm deep in the conversation. I lost my point where I have my questions, but I'll find it. Now, do you hear any concerns from Brazilians about Black people in the United States?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like, what do you mean when you say that?
Like certain times, there might be certain things, certain stereotypes about Black people in the United States that people may speak of in this country. And I was wondering, have you heard that, about certain things? You remember how you
It's
talked about um, people having stereotypes about,
uh
sex tours and capoeira and
mhm.
all these particular things. But, is it the same? Would it be the same case
Mhm.
for Black people in the United States from Brazilians?
No, I
Like
don't
as
think
far
like
as different things.
I think sometimes people think that all black people in America are like from the ones like from the movies that wears like bandanas and walk like they're from a gang. And sometimes it's not like all people. I The truth is I think that we don't talk that much about it, you know. We
So
all
you're
think
saying,
we think about America as basically mostly white. When you think about United States, we think about white people.
okay.
I think that's the case.
So you're saying you're only like most people's reference about Black people in the United States are movies and things that they see in like media and films?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Um, now what about, let's see. Now, have you heard that affirmative action was approved in your country recently?
Sorry,
Have you heard of the term affirmative action?
affirmative action.
Affirmative action for different things that allows Black people to get in, just to make things fair,
If
like
I
jobs, colleges.
something that makes it fair, more fair.
Yeah, because
They.
I talked to someone that works at the colleges there,
Mhm.
so I'm just trying to confirm if you heard the same thing.
Oh yeah,
But
actually,
mhm.
they. I don't know if you know that, but they have a system with in terms of colleges and usually public contests to get jobs and to get into colleges, schools. The black people, like black people, natives, like Indians. I don't know if it's that right. And the people like poor people, they have like when you're signing up for the contest, if you declare that you're black or that you're native or if in if you get like, if you make a certain amount of money per month, like one minimum salary or two, I think, I can't really remember, you get like a special treatment. Like they have a number of vagues reserved for this type of people. I think it's 30%.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, I just don't know how long they're going to do this. But I
Yeah,
was told that this started, what, a few years ago,
yeah.
and they're already complaining because, yeah, they got some of the people that made the lottery that got in
Mm-hmm.
some of these schools, but a lot of the students that were chosen weren't prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So they're having a very tough time trying to stay in the program. So that's why I want to be able to link,
Yeah.
black students here with black students there so they can support each other.
Yeah, in my school they have this system too, and a lot of teachers, I've talked about it with some teachers that have been there for like a long time. They told me that when this system started, they started to see a lot, like way more black students over there. You know, that it
Hmm.
changed completely. I'm not saying it's a perfect system, because some people get advantage of it, but you know.
Hmm. Hmm. Now, now, do you plan on pursuing education further than high school? And if so, what are your interests?
I'm not sure if I'm gonna do like a normal college, or if I'm gonna do follow the military career. Cause like here, like the military academies are public, so you need to pass through a test to get in. So I didn't decide yet if I'm gonna do follow the normal college like engineering, because at school I learned not only I know I not only I do a normal high school program, I'm also doing a telecommunications technique course. So I
Okay.
don't know if I'm gonna follow the engineering or if I'm gonna follow the military academy.
Yeah, so that's a good question. I wish a couple of guys were here. I don't know if Grinch is still here because he was in the military. But I think that's a good topic to go into a little bit right now. I mean, do our black youth, the black youth out there, are they encouraged to go into further education?
I mean, not I think that not that much, because like um I feel like biggest part of the black community in at least in my city, it lives in the favelas, and over there you don't have that much of like encouragement to like study. Like your parents usually tell you to go to find a better life, your family, but it's not what you see. You see that the easiest way is the crime, or get a middle job that you can survive, and that's it.
Mm. Yeah, because when I was in the favelas,
Hmm.
I was with a nice family, and the food smelled good, but
Hmm.
I only had a little bit. I forgot what I was eating, but but we were talking about how it's hard to get out of the favelas,
Yeah.
and I was asking about education, and I guess the mom, she was the mom. She said that if everybody, if enough people had education, then they would move out, but too many people had to work.
Yeah.
She said. So if you had enough people in your family in your area that was able to get some kind of education, I mean, would that make a difference in this country?
I think it would make like a huge difference, because for example, my mom, she was the first one in the family to go to college and graduate at school. Like my aunts, her sisters, they all had to work, because they didn't like school that much. So my grandma told them that if they didn't want to study, they would have to work. And they started working at like when they were on fifth grade, they stopped studying. No, and nowadays they all live like they work as how can I say it? The person that cleans the house.
The maid.
Yeah, maid. They work at maid as maids. And my mom, she like didn't stop studying because she likes studying, and she works with different types of things, you know. So I
Hmm.
think that education is the way to grow. So I think if that people had like enough education, they all had enough education, they could grow in life. But
Now you mentioned military.
hmm
Now military. So are they encourage you to do military more than going into an education?
sorry, no, I
Hello.
don't think so. It's something like that I've decided to do. You know, nowadays a lot of people are thinking about following the military career because it's the most stable one. Even if you get a public job that's like for your life, you can't get fired and anything and everything like that. But even though like public teachers, they sometimes they don't get their payment because the governments just say, oh, I don't have money to pay you. But the military is a public job that you always get your payment, because I think that the whole country is afraid of them, because if they decide they won't work, the country collapses. So I think right now a lot of people are thinking about going to the military.
Now is the military like linked with the police department?
No, there are like two different departments. There's actually the citizens police and the military police, but you can go into the military and not be connected with the police. You know.
Wow. Yeah, because when I walk around in Brazil, well, I'm always seeing a lot of military type people, and I'm not sure whether which is the police and which is the military. It's kind of, because I'm not from
hmm
there. But okay.
Usually, the police wears a black uniform, and the
Uh-huh.
military is the green one.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now I should know the difference when I go back around there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as you heard of, I mean, you have physical education at the high school, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, now if I've heard, not to be stereotypical on the capoeira,
Mhm.
but is that so that they have capoeira and soccer for physical education in high school?
Soccer for sure, but capoeira I only had capoeira classes when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and it was just for boys. Girls who used to go to ballet classes.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Now, um, now, are you guys trying to like your youth? I mean, I'm not, excuse me, your age, your age group. Are
hmm
you guys trying to get away from traditional music like samba and was it bakuta or was it batucada and
hmm
all these different things? Are you trying to get away from that to try to get into some other type of music, or are you trying to stay with the traditions?
I think we're all mixing it. You know, like some
Okay.
of people in my group, like they don't like the traditional music, but I see a lot of people that mix it. Me, for example, I like the traditional and I like the new.
Okay. And what kind of what musician what musical artists do you admire out here in the US?
I listen very often to James Brown, Aretha
Really?
Franklin, and the new ones. I usually listen to
Uh-huh.
Demi Lovato and a few rappers, and I think that's
Okay.
it. I listen a lot
Wow.
to music
Now,
for
who the last one again? Who that last person?
like a few rappers. I like.
You-
There's a lot of them. Like mix it.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because my wife is out there and she
hmm
complains about funk,
hmm hmm
whatever that is.
Yeah.
And the way she described it is not like funk in the United States. It's some kind of
No,
other type thing. What? Why they so hard on that kind of music out there in Brazil?
because funk talks a lot about drugs, sex, and
Oh,
about the reality in the favelas. You know, about life as a thief. Some of them talk about the life as a
jeez.
thief, and like a, like the fewer part of them talks as thieves, like thieves' lives as a good thing.
It's
But
glorified.
the yeah, but those one no funk is not that. I like funk because there's like even funk is divided like in categories because there's the one that we listen on the street that plays on parties. There's the one that you just listen in the favelas. That is like the underground funk, you know. The underground funk is the one that talks about the life and as a thief and everything, and the funk that comes out talks more about all those things I told you in the life in the favela.
Hmm. Wow. Now, do Black Brazilians share any kind of common struggle with Black people in the United States? Do you guys really see yourselves really saying that? Wow, I understand what they're going through. I mean, do you have those kind of moments there in Brazil?
Mm. Yeah, some like
Hmm.
I can't think of one right now. Like, give me an example.
Like police brutality, or
Oh
even the
yeah,
style of music.
this
No,
type
the
this
good and
type
the
of moment,
bad.
this
Like
type of
the style of
moments.
music.
No,
See,
like
before you
this.
were born. Oh, go ahead.
Like I think we feel this way with the treatment from the police with black people, and usually the music too, like the criminalization of music. You know,
Hmm.
I think
Okay.
that
Yeah.
those are the moments that we feel this way.
Yeah, because before you were born, even before I was born, I believe a lot of Black Americans or Black people in the United States did a lot of music with uh, Black Brazilians. You remember Tim Maya
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
what's his name, Tony Tornado,
Uh huh. I
and
know him.
different people like that. I forgot. I think that guy named was Simone. Forgot his name, but yeah, these guys were really doing a lot of stuff with Black people in the United States. I was trying to find out, is that going on today, or do people want to do that?
Yeah. I don't see it happening that much. I see more like letting people getting all together. Like there is an artist from Brazil, Anitta. I don't know if you heard of her. She's doing a lot of music with people from Latin America, like from Colombia, like J Balvin and Maluma, and usually people from Latin America, and they're all going to the United States. Like she did a
Mm.
few songs with American artists, like I think the last like Rita Ora and another one that I forgot, but it's not something that I see very often.
Mm. Okay, so we're not going to hold you too long,
Hmm.
but is there anything? Do you have any kind of visions? This remember this because we're supposed to let the young speak. Okay,
Hmm.
so is there any kind of visions or anything that you can see in the future as far as black people in Brazil, United States, or anywhere else, Africa? Do you see any visions as far as anything good or bad, or what do you see from where you are now?
I think that in the like a few years from now, things are going to be better because they're already getting better for black people in the entire world. Like not into entire world, at least here in Brazil, because like with social media and everything, things are getting exposed. so we can all see and we all complain about it. We all talk more about it, talk about our experience. We share things, you know. So I
Mhm.
think it's like from here from now things are going to get better. It doesn't mean that we won't have problems, we won't have to fight, but I think we're going to it's going to get better.
Okay. So I think we did pretty good. We kept this at an hour.
Mhm.
And would you mind if anybody had any questions in the chat? We'll give you another 5 minutes. You know, if anybody want to have any get any questions or whatever. And if we
Sure.
don't get any questions, then we'll just sign off and probably do a part two or something. And you said you had friends that wanted, that may wanted to be a part of this as well.
Mhm. Sure.
Okay. Yeah. And then we'll keep it at that. So we're waiting for some questions. Let's see. So he said, we have a friend of ours named Crew Reality. He says you got to have a part two, part three, etc. Okay. Now, you guys, just listen. She just turned 17 and she's in another country. I mean, and she's very, very intelligent. I had to have her on my show. I had to have her on my show so people can see what's going on around the world. We're going to be doing things like this with people in their 20s, their 30s. As far as 40s, I don't consider them young. So,
Yeah.
so we'll just keep it teens, 20s, and 30s, ask different questions. And I just sit back and listen, maybe interject a little, not
I'm
interject,
glad
but
you all
just,
liked it.
oh, yeah. Amanda Gathers says this was awesome. Um, But yeah, I definitely want to be able to connect some of you and your friends with people out here, maybe some of my students. So so we'll probably have another one of those too, where you can interact with my students during the art school season, and have a share your similarities, things like that, just that you know what's going on in different parts of the world. So it looks like nobody has any questions. So I'm just going to go ahead and close out. And I really appreciate it. I'm definitely going to be in touch with you about your father. Your father looked like an older version of Bruno Mars.
I don't
They,
think so.
yeah, I was looking. I was like, he looks like Bruno. Yeah, like an older version of him. Between him and I don't know if you heard of Clarence Williams III. They get that. They got that look. So, oh, someone said he has a question. Said, but I want to run them by you first. Difference between relationships versus their. Okay, yeah, you would have to get somebody 20s and they're older. You know, I don't think her parents want to go over that kind of stuff too deeply. It says this is the most important because we need to contact with the rest of our hobby money. Yes, that's what it is. The whole thing I think we're missing out on for those who are listening, people think that they can do things alone. That's why we're in this problem to begin with, because they're trying to do things by themselves. It takes a team effort to get out of this madness that we're in right now. So
Yeah.
we're gonna definitely try to get everything connected. And then for those people that are just not down for it, just step aside. I'm doing my hand movement, like move aside so we can do our thing without you. Okay. So, so any last words before I close out?
No, thank you all for watching, and thanks Art for the opportunity to talk about it. It was a nice chat.
Oh yeah, consider this your home, and we'll be doing more of these things pretty soon. So I appreciate everybody for coming through. Let me give the shout outs to Crew Reality, Hobby Money, King Wage, Amanda Gathers, uh, Indy. We got Tony Smith. We got Gab Talk Media, Joe W. We got the Grinch God. We got is that it? Oh, we got Just Ask Shar. We have Sunny Boxing Talks. There's some other people that I haven't seen before. Monique Hill, Albert Bird, the Prince Network. Who else we got over here? How far is it gonna let me go up? This is a Gosu Monster. Oh, Gosu Monster. Okay, we have that one. We got Rita Lucy. Is that that's somebody you know? And then we got Lowcast. Oh, Arta Forte. So I think I named everybody in here. I hope I didn't miss out on anyone. So thank everybody for coming. And I'm just going to do the Russell Simmons thank you and good night.